Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can.
Okay, good. So, like I said in last week, today is just for you to take attendance, and there are just some announcements from me. Those who cannot make it today, hopefully, if you are their friends, please let them know what I announced here. but basically it's nothing new. So the first thing is, if you look at ellipse, you can see that this is the 5th week, and you have login here. Then you download this exercise 3, and the video that I have recorded is for exercise 3. And this is what I want you to do. You imagine this is the class that you are attending. Like previous 2 exercise, what I did is I give you the questions, but I did not tell you about the answer because I want you to try. So you do the same thing even though you have everything. What I don't want you to do is you don't play here, or you don't play this video and then just sit there and watch the video. What I want you to do is you have to be a bit disciplined, taking this like an actual class. Then what you need to do is, once you have this exercise, you start getting the answer like usual. As usual, you read the questions, and I show you this is the expected output. So you try your best to come out with the answer, and only you have completed, then you try to look at the answer, and you do question by question. Once you have your answer, you check with the one in the video, and if you get it correct, then you move on to the second one. So let's say second question, you cannot get the answer. After you try so hard, then you look at the answer in the video. And I want you to do in this way. For those who really cannot do it, then no choice I want to do. And for the quiz, if you check at this assessment, there is a quiz tool here, but I have not opened it for you to upload. I think I have set it starting from tonight, then you can upload your answer here. And then you are given whole one day to complete this quiz. So what is this quiz? Later on I will upload, let me see, maybe I try to write something and put it here so that you have the instruction. But basically, if you are here, then you should be able to do it. What I want you to do is, it is based on this exercise 3. I want you to try to play around with your answer. Remember in the class before that I said, once you have some answer here, you have to play around. Play around means you need to modify your answer and see what happens to the output. This is the good way for you to learn, to increase your understanding. So what I want you to do is, let's say you have write your answer here and everything is correct. Then you start to play around. What if I change this to something else? And you run and see what happens. And whatever you get or whatever you realize and you learn from your play here, I mean, try and error here, then you write something. So what do you write? You can click this mark down and do like what I do. So you can write something like this. Okay, so first I try something, and this is the output. So you try to write something, no need to be very specific, like a essay type of answer. No, it's just like a few point form, and then what is the expected output. And the most important thing is, you learn something, you realize you cannot do that, or you realize your error. And those who cannot get the answer, then most likely you cannot try an error like this, but actually you still can. Another way to answer this question is, if you cannot get the answer, after you check my answer in the YouTube video, then you have to realize what you have done wrong, and from there, what you have learned. So you just write down your experience in here. And I want you to do for all the questions. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So basically, I'm expecting one mark down like this at the bottom to express or to explain what you have done. what you have tried error. And if you get the error why, then from there, what you can do to improve or correct it, do you use a breakpoint and debug. Okay, so this is the quiz that I want you to do, and you submit. The due date is 1 day. This is just to ensure you really learn this, even though we don't have the physical class. So any questions? If you cannot talk, then you may write in the chat box. I am monitoring the chat box.
So to like double check for quiz 2, we have to like basically write a reflection for every questions.
Yes, you are right. Correct.
For exercise 3, or is that there'll be a new set of questions for quiz 2?
Only for exercise 3, no new set of questions.
So the quiz 2 is we write reflections for exercise 3.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay, so if you have no question, then the last thing I want to reply here is that you can see the activity here, right? And some of you email me that they cannot upload cannot participate in this activity anymore because the due date is out, and ask me to extend the submissions time. Unfortunately, I cannot do that because it has been quite some time, and I have mentioned this a few times in the class. So I believe if I have given enough reminder as well as the time. So those who haven't done this, please be more responsive in the future activity here. So I will reply here instead of replying email by email. Okay. Okay, maybe I give you 1 minute to think if you have any questions. If not, then you may offline now and proceed with your own time to do this exercise 3. Okay, so if you have no questions, then you may leave the WebEx classroom, and I will see you again on Thursday.